seen a lot of fast action between Delilah and the main character, which is pretty cool. And for most return viewers that are wondering why my voice has gone all Barry White, I think I'm sick. I'm not quite sure. I don't feel sick too much. I did take a nap, so uh, I guess 'tis the season. Anyways, let's pop an audio log. All right, audio logged. 43.
So here on day 76, we're concluding a series of shorter days that internally we referred to as the montage.
The goal was to figure out a way to let you play through the passage of time.
The inspiration came from a few different places, and Sean, you can sort of correct or add as necessary. One was just obviously the cinematic concept of a montage. We thought that's just a cool way to...
It is really cool, though.
Convey long passage of time without spending a huge amount of the player's time relative to that.
You referencing movies made me think of every sports.
Let's see here. What is the easiest route we can take to go to where we're supposed to take?
For like 3 weeks, I was obsessed with this idea because we were trying to figure out ways to come up with new gating mechanics. And I was like, oh, there should just be like ledges and stuff that Henry isn't
oh, right,
strong
the
enough
June
to push
fire.
himself up.
That's what we were looking for.
This montage,
I think
there should be like a part where Henry goes like underneath his tower, and there's this like a support pole that goes across, and you can just do pull-ups, and you can do pull-ups 2 or 3 times during the montage, and then by the time we get to day 76, Henry just has the strength, the upper body strength, to pull himself to higher, which would explain the gating mechanic. So it was like sports montage to the max. We would have had to get like another 80s song in the game.
Like a jock jam.
Yeah.
That'd be hella funny.
Jock jam in this game. I would have given up Etta James for a jock jam in this game. Just kidding. I absolutely would not.
No.
Anyway,
sports montages as well as film montages, important influence here.
I could go to Five Creek, but I don't think.
I think, yeah,
that's where I need to go.
It's a very short, like 10-minute experience. If you look it up, 30 Flights of Loving, by a guy named Brendan Chung, who's just a brilliant independent game developer. I did the music for that game coincidentally, and
oh, that's cool.
That game
selfish
is
plug.
Pretty much entirely told through a series of hard cuts out of chronological order. And when we
damage tree, the damage trees around this map, lots, but they're not noted.
The existing day structure that we talked about earlier, it just made sense as this sort of second act of the game. Something that I think is surprisingly rare in games. You don't see a lot of montage in video games.
No, I have no why. It's technically actually
it's not even
really hard.
It is really hard, and we actually strayed from our original concept, which was much more of a montage with very quick,
I think I got 7, but I'll hear it.
I mean, it's a stretch maybe actually to call it a montage because you play several minutes of game at a time.
There is a moment in here like where you can if you take all the food.
Oh yeah, if you do that, you'll get a bonus.
A very
track.
Small day, and I'm sure where there's a table that is montage-y in length.
This is Jared Emerson Johnson. I work for a company called Bay Area Sound. We did a lot of the sound editing and sound recording for the game. A lot of the ambience and a lot of the effects.
And
I remember running the opposite way from there.
But on this one, I'm speaking in my capacity as, I guess, the audio director on this game, a role that I really did not deserve to have, and basically had to figure out as I was going along. We ended up developing, I think, a pretty close working relationship.
I'm going to say fuck it, I'm going to turn around and just go this way.
Sort of split
see where the fuck it takes us. I
think
I have to go to the very far east.
Fairly half and half, probably
southeast
towards Jared in terms of work volume.
Although you did almost
I have played this before, where
implementation, so
a little bit of it's coming back.
Sort of the
notes and documents. Great.
What we needed and how it should go in the game, and I just kind of took whatever you needed from me and made it. So I was sort of the content horse, and you were the overseer and
overlord.
The overlord. Which was great. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that you were inexperienced, but it was smoother than some projects go, and it was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, and you at one point went and did some field recordings.
The sound in the game
breaks
down pretty evenly between.
I guess that path is not available to us at this point.
Interactive parts of the sound where the player's interacting with objects and things in the game, and then there's the ambience part. And especially in this game,
maybe I can't climb.
The ambience is important, but in this game, that was sort of
Wall
really where we started and finished in terms of what the sound needed to be in creating this.
Seriously.
And I actually had several recordings
I've been making for the
past 10 years or so. You know, various other big outdoor national park locations, stuff from Yosemite and stuff from... I've actually been hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail over the past 10 years, which is a trail that goes all the way from Mexico up to Canada. So it's great. So I mean, really, you know, all of the ambient sound is really coming from
Lake for bear tracks.
You know, wild spaces up in the mountains.
Yeah, and the ambience, man, I think it took us so long to dial in the approach we wanted to take, both in terms of the source material itself and also the way that it was designed and implemented.
Right.
I mean, I feel like we were revising that basically until like the last third of game development. I mean, not even just revising, but I would say like fundamentally changing how it worked. And eventually what's in the game now is sort of 3 layers of ambience that are mixed according to, you know, where you are and the needs of the space and so on, plus additional what we called sweeteners of environmental noise, like sort of wildlife and wind.
Well, that's pretty cool. They put a lot of thought into that then.
Give it some character.
This project was really kind of unique in that way.
Hey, what's going on?
With the ambience, because it was such a key part of creating the atmosphere of it. We spent a whole lot of time figuring out how we wanted to...
Oh, there's another audio log that's finally available.
Sections of the
Fuck yes.
And also, at what point you are in the story and how, you know... How
what's going on, Dash? How you been?
It was probably the most detailed ambience work I've done on, I think, any project I've ever worked on.
Alright, let me go ahead and pop this new tape real fast. So basically dead.
And it's James again.
This moment by the lake where you get punched out by the person who turns out to be Ned Goodwin is one of the few times in the game where
they just dropped like so much spoiler alerts out, you guys that have not played that. Like, fuck you guys. Chris Ramo and James Benson should at least have the courtesy of saying spoiler.
They were always worried that they were going to get punched.
We'll radio in for this clipboard right after they're done. Some of these are a little bit shorter than the other ones, but they're pretty neat. Like, for us digesting the game.
On day one, it's probably like one of the biggest punchy action set pieces I got to animate. And it's also interesting that like most of the action happens.
I think it's really funny that you can like walk into the water.
A bunch of stuff.
But that's it.
Sort of
as far as you can go.
Audio and being like, okay, you need to basically make
radio check.
Yeah, scoring
still somehow works in water. It's water resistant.
Radio drama because there are the sort of creeping footsteps behind you and they're panning slightly from right to left as they approach. And then
what kind of creature is that?
Indiana Jones
like an actual wombat?
Really
fun. Exists somewhere
in
the world.
In this game. And then the ringing, it was really fun. This moment changed a fair amount because it was so incredibly difficult.
Oh, there's another one right over there.
To the player, there's this exact little thing on the ground.
Look at that radio tower beacon, fucking cassette plane, dragonfly. Fuck, that was crazy. I was like zoomed in. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a fucking dragonfly right next to us.
Design uncertainty and confusion.
Yeah, this was definitely
confusion is something I would definitely say that this game is shrouded with. It unfurls as you go.
Every single part.
Not too much like Until Dawn. Until Dawn's completely different, but it has more of a roller coaster of
a lot of this game
thrills.
Being about finding a compromise between player expressivity and actually making sure some kind of coherent story got told. So this was quite a significant example of that in development. It took a long time to nail down, but I'm pretty happy with where it ended up.
All right. So, creepy log. Let's examine it.
D, I found a clipboard down here, and there's something strange going on.
Everything they've talked about, schedules, where they've walked, fire routes, days.
Said to each other, have been saying.
Keeping this.
I don't talk to the other lookouts as much as I talk to you, not in the same
Before
way.
they flipped it off, it had other, like, detailed information about both of them.
Wait, hold on. Something's out here.
Yeah. Let's just say it's not going to be that big of a surprise. It's a radio.
Find and eat any mushrooms, did you? I mean, they can be fun, but also, you know...
We're going to moonwalk our way to this one.
Regardless, just let me know, okay, Buckaroo? Oh, God.
Don't call me Buckaroo. Or, seriously, I'm just joking. But seriously, don't call me Buckaroo. Fuck! Last time I got hit in this, damn, he went in for 2. He's like, don't be clever, boy.
Henry?
Your way into trying to succeed.
What happened, Henry?
I got hit on the back of the fucking head, Delilah. That's what fucking happened.
Got hit in the head, punched or something by someone.
Are you serious? What the hell is going on out
It
there?
was a
I
bear.
don't know.
A very smart bear named Boo Boo.
Let me get this straight. You found a clipboard with, what, transcripts of our conversations? What else is on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gone, along with the radio of theirs.
There was a recipe how to make homemade scratch pumpkin pie. But yeah, that was about it. Besides the weird shit.
Wapiti Station.
I don't know.
I saw the name Wapiti Station right before I was cold cocked.
What is it?
Does Wapiti Station
Wapiti?
mean anything to you?
Wapiti wop wop.
Wapiti Meadow. Maybe it's Wapiti Meadow.
So fun to say Wapiti. I'm sorry. I'm way too excited for the word Wapiti.
It looks like there should be a trail somewhere on the north shore of Jonesy Lake.
I'll start hiking that way now. God damn it, my head.
Are you sure you saw what you saw, Henry? Maybe
You shut up. Don't you dare doubt Henry. This guy, I fucking concussion and yeah, maybe he might have drank that bottle of whiskey.
Listening to our conversations. The person or these people were hiding in the bushes down here. What the fuck, D?
Yeah.
I don't know, Henry. This
I guess the trail's over here.
crazy.
Yeah.
You're not the one who just saw our words on a clipboard out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that is really cool in 4K.
Weeks ago.
I know they were.
That is badass. It's like
to say that they don't have transcripts from 3, 4, or 5 weeks ago.
oh,
Our entire relationship, friendship, our whole summer.
weird.
Someone is out here with the walkie-talkie, taking notes and talking to God knows who. What the hell do you think is going on at this place?
Apparently a lot of following you around taking notes, which
Oh
is
yeah,
fucking believable.
Mr. Popular over here.
All right, I'm on my way to Wapiti.
He's
so I'll let you
stockable.
know what I find.
Okay. There's got to be a reasonable explanation. Also,
See what happens when we open up
call around and see
305.
if anyone's had anything weird happen to them or seemed spooked.
But I guess we have zombie beavers.
Yeah,
They're very crazy.
Yeah, okay. Hike safe.
Yeah, I'll try. Copy our source information. Examiner note. Rodney, I have some bad news. Back home. Shit's gonna go crazy. If the sheriff's involved, there's always crazy shit ahead. Fucking David. Yes. Amigo is Spanish. It's so funny. Sweater, can I take it? Oh, the book. The Fourth Estate. Note trap. It's a death note and a note trap. Ooh, audio log. Fuck you, Wombat.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Sean. There's a turtle here.
There's a turtle here.
Really?
I think it's probably your doing, even though in classic Campo Santo form, playing like autopsy detective on how the turtle got into the game is not yielding any definitive results.
I think I remember wanting something. Like I said, I just want a place that's very pleasant in the game, and I also want something very cute in the game. I think that was on my wish list.
And we killed 2 turts with 1 stone here.
Yeah, and then someone maybe said something about turtles, and then
A turtle, I think a turtle fit into the scope of what creature we could let you find and manipulate and animate,
Yeah.
and we weren't afraid of it then.
Because we were also
We
thinking
had the idea
like,
really early, and we were afraid of animals.
yeah, because you're like, what if someone wants
Maybe
to
they didn't like
throw
the
a
sounds
thing?
of animals
Like,
fighting.
if you throw a cute animal, usually that will hurt the animal, and then maybe someone said, it would be fine if it's a turtle.
And you can definitely launch this turtle right into the lake, and hopefully Henry will say something about it if you do, which is one of my favorite moments in the game. And then I think Turt Reynolds, the name you choose for him, was a bad joke made by a guy who shares an office with us, Zach Johnson.
That's badass though, Turt Reynolds.
He came out and said, "What about Turt Reynolds?" And we all groaned, and then I wrote it down.
And then we're like, well, now we have to have a turtle.
Yeah. And then Turt made his debut at E3 2015.
That is so funny.
The Firewatch E3 trailer. And people lost their silly minds.
Yeah, we were like, if we put Turt in this trailer, then we have to make it work in the finished game.
Yeah.
It was a turtle binding document.
And then, you can feed him when you put him in you can give him a granola bar when you put him in the box back in your tower. I think that's still in the game.
Wait, I can put him in the box? I've had him in my pocket the whole fucking time.
Whoa, Delilah, there's a big chain link fence between me and the meadow. I don't think I can get past it.
A fence?
Yeah.
How big?
Big. It goes off in both directions. Acres.
What the fuck is going on out here?
Whatever it is, someone doesn't want anyone to know about it. Looks like goddamn Area 51.
Maybe they've got aliens. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, that's next week, starting with Supergirl and ending with Legends of Tomorrow. Alien zombies. Badass.
And what are the odds they left the gate unlocked?
Low, I'd imagine.
Use your strength, Henry.
Look, I'm not going to be able to get into this place.
Shit.
I don't know how long I can get around out here until someone notices.
You know, we could climb it.
God, if you were an actual firefighter, you'd have that gate down in 2 shakes. Hey, actually, those guys doing the controlled burn, they might be able to help.
Where are they?
Beyond
The other side.
There's a scout camp. They burned a line a few days ago that should let you hike right to them.
Well,
They're right down there.
If they haven't left, they're probably the type of guys who would help you get through that fence.
Gate to nowhere. All right, audio log 27.
The gate of what Henry only knows is Wapiti Meadow.
Soon to be known as Wapiti Station.
Dun dun dun. So we can even talk about how you actually technically don't have to come here on this day at all, but presuming you haven't done anything strange, you now have to attempt to break in to this weird fence that's just seemingly out of nowhere in the middle of the woods.
No, this was optional.
That the story needed that. We then were in a pickle where we went, well, we've never made you do anything like that before. Like, go and do an adventure game thing. Like, use an object with an object. And so we kind of
go venture out and find the axe from the fireman, and then come back
not great game
and use it to open the gate. Adventure solved.
I, for lack of, I'll take full credit, I guess, had pushed us into a place with the story where you needed to try to get into this place to justify going somewhere else less important to find a way to get in later.
That's badass.
When you're telling a story, like, and then you have to kind of create a diversion, you don't want to be like, the most important thing you want is behind this gate, but you need to go elsewhere to get behind it. It's like the biggest, like, bugaboo of adventure game design. But we had written ourselves right into it, and the story was now like, or the game design was now subservient to the story, which is really bad if you're a game designer or an aspiring game designer.
Not the best place to be.
Not great. So Nels and Will and James set about piecing together the concept of being able to pick up things and then contextually change the action you could do with those things. And in terms of look and feel, I think you guys did a great job of being able to pick up the rocks that are to the left of the gate. There is, you probably don't know this player because it's very difficult to see, but there is a stick to the right of the gate.
And there's another one off to the left. Once you try to get in some fashion, the game is agnostic about which. Then you can say, hey, Delilah, I don't think I can get in here. And of course, in like, you know, classic Firewatch fashion, there's a bunch of very subtle like micro branches where if you actually try to break in with all three of the things, Henry's like, I tried to smash it and break it, I can't do it.
I got that last time where you exhausted
of,
everything, and I was just like, okay, I'm done.
There, that's cool. But also, me and James and Will basically had to go through like a baton death march to get this to work, just because nothing else in the game at all works this way. With like because the objects, they're in your hand, but then as you use them on the gate, then they're destroyed, but they have to go somewhere and it has to sync up with a special. It's just any one element that is complicated to do it in a game to make look nice.
See, Delilah, you should be more open to calling the law enforcement. It's less trouble later on. Say, hey, something crazy happened. Can you help us?
On a thing like you do in like Monkey Island.
Just saying. They are there to serve and protect.
But I think you guys did a valiant job, and I really love the way it actually feels to do it. I am just glad I wasn't the gameplay programmer on it. I'm very happy about this.
Lucky you.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Keep your radio close to you.
I don't know.
Hey, what you just said, keep my radio close to me.
Yeah?
Before I got attacked back at the lake, I saw a radio on the ground. Kind of like the one I use.
And?
Do you think that maybe
Dumbass.
someone was, you know,
What's the name?
I don't know. What?
Gosh, do I have to spell it out for you?
maybe intercepting our frequency with other radios or something?
Henry...
It's just a thought.
I don't even know how you would do that.
Yeah, well, you sound...
A radio receiver?
No, I'm not, okay? Let's not spin out of control. Just keep hiking.
Oh yeah, that's easy for you to stay in your nice, cozy-ass, catered to, like, hotel in the forest. I mean, I am jelly, though. That is a pretty badass hotel. Alright, we need to cut, right?
I know we don't know what's going on yet, but I don't have a good feeling. I don't
Me
like
neither.
feeling vulnerable. It's not like you can just call the police. I was
Why
thinking
not?
about the Goodwins. It just struck me that if anything weird like this happened to them, happened to Brian, just how scared he would have been.
He had his dad to protect him. Ned, right?
Yeah.
You don't think he could?
No,
Maybe.
you're probably right.
It was 3 years ago. He's in high school now. He's on summer break.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, so I need to go east. There we go. Okay, there we go. There's our way down. I was like, damn it, I think we're going too far. Oh, wait. I could go there, but that's like... No. I don't think I've ever been down there, though. Very cool. As you can see, the control burn is over there to the very far right. Music change, some cool stuff. It's pretty nice. I like it. Controlled burn.
Hi, it's Jane again. So Nels, what is a controlled burn?
A controlled burn is actually a technique that real wildland firefighters use. They actually have these amazing things called drip cans, which are basically like Tin Man oil can, except they're just full of like extremely flammable fluid and they're always on fire. What? So yeah, it's awesome. So basically firefighters will dig a bunch of like fire breaks and then use these drip cans to light a bunch of small controlled fires to burn out all the flammable materials in an area that a big proper uncontrolled wildfire is approaching, so that when the fire, due to the wind or whatever, gets to that area is already burned, so the fire can't keep spreading kind of past where that burn was.
No, that's cool.
So in the case in the game
I want that job.
The idea is that this
firefighter
crew
you prevent fire with fire.
Right next to
And doesn't that bring the whole thing of fighting fire with fire? Like, has a hell of a lot more depth to it.
That the hope is between the controlled burn and the river itself, the fire wouldn't actually spread all the way up to Two Forks.
But how you been, Dash?
Discover later in the game, they did not succeed at that. As is often the case in the real world,
new in your life?
Nothing is not unpredictable.
In terms of technically how we achieve this, basically we have a pre-burn sector that is all lush and beautiful.
Hella burned.
Trees that you cannot push through, so it works great as a
Dash just got through video chatting with my girlfriend and now I'm sad.
Nah, you miss her, don't you? It's all good though. At least you got to talk to her.
New piece of artwork, basically, to the post-burn sector, which lets the player walk right through.
It's interesting that like there's kind of this baseline.
Do you guys see what I see?
And then there are these almost just two chunks.
One of those snowmobiles.
The world is kind of made of tiles in a way, so like we have the option to swap different tiles in and out, and this is a great place to use that technology.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, dude.
There's some old
I love her to death.
That's cool, man.
Looks like some of the poor bastards.
You deserve to be happy, Dash.
Dumped it.
By the way, Dash, are you stoked for next week's DC lineup? Like, I can't believe they're having 4 episodes in a row dealing with aliens. I was like, what the fuck? Now I have to watch Supergirl. I was very, like, stoked. Like, when I was catching up on The Flash and Legends. Still a few episodes behind, like, yeah, I have probably about, like, 10 episodes to watch, including Supergirl episodes, in order to catch up for this shit on the 28th.
That's weird.
This is so weird. This poor snowmobile died on land. There's no snow. That's why it died.
A DC lineup?
Yeah. Like, I guess next week on the November 28th, they said that they're gonna have, starting with Supergirl, a 4-episode series that spans from Supergirl to Flash to Arrow to Legends. And it's one big ass story about aliens invading and them all like playing a part to stop
it. I'm so behind on the Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow.
Dude, yeah. I didn't even watch Supergirl, but I knew they were gonna like sneak in like some like cool shit. So I was just like, damn it, I have to push this off. I'm behind on other ones. Like, I'm definitely like catching up though. I'm like super stoked. I like where Legends is going. It's a really, really cool season where it's warming up. Ooh, new cassette. Let us listen to them.
That is great about Pork Pond, other than it is called Pork Pond.
I totally forgot about that. This pond is called Pork Pond.
It's not even really a pond.
It's barely a pond.
It's like a pork puddle, really.
They do crossovers all the time, bro.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Same here. Like, when they started doing, like, I love that I watched Arrow because I watched Flash and got into both of them around the same time. So once they started the whole experiment with crossovers with those shows, I was like in love with it. I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And then Legends started like the whole crossover with everything, because like Legends is directly involved with the Flash because they're like time travelers. And obviously, if you watch the show, you know Barry's fucked with time all too many times.
My girlfriend's dog, Pork Belly.
Pork Pond. That's so funny.
He's a Japanese chin, and he is very weird. And
you named him Pork Belly. Of course, he's fucking weird.
Because there wasn't a sign, and then the next thing I knew, someone said, "Oh, it should be in Delilah's lookout." I don't know if that was you, Jane, But that's the sort of thing you would do. Is you'd be like, I was playing the game, and I felt like that pork pond sign should be in Delilah's tower.
Like, if I were Delilah, I would have totally stolen it.
Exactly right. So then we just say yes, and we keep...
So the bridge is out. Henry's like, I fucking can't get that girl.
Pork puddle pond. Pork puddle pond. I like this is our only tape together.
I know.
And it was just us saying pork pond about... pork pond.
Dude, Arrow and the Flash did like 4 or 5 crossovers.
Yeah, it started with like almost, I think, what was it? The Thanksgiving episodes, like one time, and then they just started like filtering them in. Because I loved like the newer episode that I watched of season, like, or the newer episode of Flash. And like it touched on one of the crossover episodes that happened between Flash and the Arrow, where, you know, Ollie was training Barry to become better and more observant. And like he ends up training like you know, the one chick Flash, and he basically tells her the same thing, and I was like, oh, that's so funny, he's becoming Ollie. And then like he literally stops, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm fucking becoming Oliver, this is fucking weird. And I was like, yeah, you get it now. Like, you know, he doesn't mean to be a dick, he's just trying to teach you to like fucking be better, because like, you know, you have to make sure of all your surroundings, and you have to make sure, because that's why I loved it. But he was training him, he like shot the arrows at his back, and it's like, you can be as fast as you fucking want, but you can be tricked just as fast. Alright, so let's look at our old map.
The first crossover was when Arrow first came on and Barry wasn't the Flash yet. He didn't even have speed.
Did you know that like they had another crossover with Supergirl before Supergirl got changed to the CW from CBS, I think, which was the original channel? That they had one where Barry dipped out, because remember when Barry disappeared for a split second when he went through the time tunnel and then came back and he was like, wait, how long have I been gone? He literally says that, and like for me that was like, oh, you fucking time traveled, I know what you did. And then like they touch on it later on that like I guess in that episode he ends up going over to like fucking like the Supergirl's universe dimension, because he was trying out like some fast shoes when he was like trying to get at the Reverse Flash, where he got fucking shut down.
Yeah, I knew about that one.
Yeah, that was a good episode though, I really liked it. But to chill as we try to find a way across this fucking bridge. Firefighters old school camping burnout site. Yes, I know. Oh, that's pork belly pond. That's so funny. He scratched it out and put it right inside of there. Alright, well, there's got to be a few other ways. Let's search for them. I definitely do like how they introduced so many different aspects of, like, you know, Vandal Savage was originally in Flash and shit like that.
That was crazy.
I mean, the firefighters made it from that camp to Ruby River.
So Ruby River is where we need to go. Oh, I think I figured it out. You're gonna go way up to there. Let's go to this mode so I can start running. Because I mean, like, this game is amazing, but like one thing is, it's not as bad as like freaking like Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. That game is fucking insane when you're trying to walk around. You're just like, what the fuck? There's no turbo button. There's not even like, boo, I scared you. You're moving 1 kilometer faster now. Even though that's not a lot, but you're at least moving faster.
Sad that this game isn't on physical disc.
Yeah, because I had to download mine. That's funny now knowing that, like, there's no physical disc. How funny would it be if that was the collector's edition? They're like, you get it on disc. Kudos. You could have not got it at all. Oh, I am super stoked for Resident Evil 7's collector's edition. Holy shit, you get a house. You get a physical fucking house. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, not real house, but you get a house that you can fucking utilize as like a diorama type shit. Where's my fucking morning stars? You just throw them. Chop it down to size.
If they do eventually release this on disc, I'll get it.
Yeah, same here. Because, you know, they'll probably have some really cool collector item, like Henry trying to climb, like, some kind of, like, fucking tree or some shit like that. Like, sweet. Maybe I can run and jump. Run, Henry! Mass velocity. You got this, buddy. It ain't a long drop. Oh, there you go.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see who's in this chat. Unfortunately, I noticed that YouTube has been getting lamer with, like, freaking, like, the chat. Gregory, dude, I haven't seen you in a good second, man. Have you been streaming nowadays?
Be right back, Mickey.
Oh, no worries. There we go. I got so discombobulated.
I'm at the camp.
Great. Have a look around. If anyone's still there, they might be able to help.
I'm gonna sound crazy.
Hello?
Maybe you just ask him to help you get inside the fence. If I didn't know it was out there, I probably don't either.
This place looks dead.
We should just run out and we'll be like, oh my gosh!
Oh, Bucko.
They're all gone! They're all gone! Just like scare the shit out of them.
You ever talk to any of the scouts?
No, they haven't been out here in a while, and I generally don't have a lot to say to preteens.
Unless it's Brian Goodwin.
Well,
Bear trap?
I mean, I can make conversation with anyone. Plus, it was sort of fun to hear about all of his nerdy hobbies.
There are bear traps out here in the scout shelters.
Scouts are stalwart prey.
That's so funny. She's crazy as fuck.
I guess these little shelters are where they keep the Weeblos.
For the past 35 years, yeah.
Did it rain pretty hard where you're at yesterday, Mac?
Oh yeah. And the day prior to that too. I wasn't able to do my Pokemon walks, but when I did, holy shit, like I cleared my catch last night, and I think they reamped the CP system. My Gyarados is so fucking strong now. Vaporeon, I have a strong ass fucking Taurus, like all my fucking perfect IVs. They literally have become perfect. Like they're top tier. Like it's so funny to like plant like a huge Pokemon and people are just like, what the fuck? That Taurus is like level 2100. It's like, yeah. And he can go
Dash
higher.
Was having a video chat with his girlfriend.
He's level 9,000!
0.
Yeah, these guys are gone. I found where they were sitting around before getting picked up.
Damn.
This axe is my axe. This axe is your axe. We're gonna chop down a Christmas tree. In the tune of, this is our country.
From their boss.
Did it say anything of note?
Let us see. Examining the note.
Into the thoroughfare on behalf of Dr.
Let us see.
Simmons at Wapiti
Grant
Station.
Carson, tell me. Hotshot crew. Very hotshot. Dr. Simon, Wapiti Station. I can't talk like that. That's just like, it's just too freaking ridiculous.
He was worried about wildfires.
Okay, anyways, so they're telling them what they're doing. They're obviously going down like Ruby River. They're starting to see on behalf of like Mr. Ben Simons at the Wapiti Station.
15 only 1 week away. I can't wait.
Dude, I cracked because my friend texted me when I was on my Pokemon walk and he was just like, dude, you gotta check this out. This is like fucking the final trailer. And I like watched it and I was like, fuck, it's on the list and it's gonna be cheap if I buy it on Amazon right now. So it will only be like, you know, $51 and I'll get it on the day it comes, you know, out, which is really great because I have other games I need to stream. You know, it's really not worth paying the $9, really like fucking $12 extra just to get it, you know, fucking 11 hours earlier than everyone else that, you know, goes to GameStop. But I mean, that is the one advantage. Like, you know, if there's something that's really, really hot about to hit the market and a lot of people are curious about it, I don't mind paying extra to like stream that shit. But like, you know, for me, I have a lot. But that game's going to consume my fucking life. I already know it. It's a Square Enix game. Squaresoft, personally, me, it has a soft spot in my heart. For most people that understand Squaresoft, you know that that name was before Square Enix. Pretty cool, huh? Beer can.
Oh shit, Pierce Black LOL.
Hell yeah. What? Is that Duck Hunt? Looks like Duck Hunt. Wait. It's a 3D rendering of Henry. Henry's gonna take this axe too.
What?
Oh, Henry has 2 axes.
What?
How the fuck does Henry have 2 axes? This is funny as hell. Can I comment on this? Henry's a ghost. He's the headless horseman.
Hey babe, LOL.
Oh my gosh.
Squaresoft made some of the greatest games ever.
They did. I agree. You know the fun thing about it is like one of my really good childhood friends, like he got me into like the JRPGs. Literally, because I mean I had been into them like here and there, but never like really just like hardcore into JRPGs. And I played them like yeah they're all right, you know, because my uncle had a lot of cool like Sega and Masters, Genesis systems because there was like 2 different versions of it. So you know I played like some of like the what was it? Morning Star, I think, series or some shit like that, lightly. But one of my friends, like, ended up for my birthday. He comes over with fucking pouring rain.
I
just,
thought
like,
you were going to sleep, Pierce, LOL.
And then just basically just gives me a copy of Final Fantasy VII. I was just like, oh my gosh, what the fuck is this? And it's really good.
Passing and saying hi.
Ghost head.
Destroy immersion, and you'd be horrified and possibly sick.
Can I chop this down?
Guess what?
What you got?
I found an axe back near that camp.
I found 2 axes.
Firefighter left it?
Probably.
Oh yeah.
It's got like a funny little point.
Sure does.
Okay, that's called a Pulaski. It's standard
Oh
issue.
okay babe, good night, sleep well. Emoji
Wow.
purple heart.
Pulaski. My bad. I just call it an axe. It, you know, chops shit down.
Coming up here on the end, Jacob.
Yes, Sean?
Henry and Delilah are talking, and then there's a clatter, and you realize there's just been an open third line on their conversation. And I remember coming up with this, or something like this, I think
You
in
too.
my living room
3
before we
bye
had an
guys.
office in the summer
Later.
and fall of 2013.
Yeah, the idea that you hear someone like cough over the radio seems like the sort of thing that got us really excited. When
That's what sucks about having a cold. You no longer are stealthy.
Yeah, we had another idea back in the lakeside of this day, the beginning of this day, where you would hear your conversation coming out of a radio nearby, but just the way our audio system worked and like the particular, like the peculiarities of trying to
Emoji
get that to
purple
work
heart.
just never really read to the player when people would play it.
And shit's getting really crazy. I really wish I could mute or pause this eavesdropping moment. Because it really is kind of crazy what they're telling us about for as far as like them being listened to. Because Delilah and Henry have always had this sinking suspicion, you know, obviously Delilah being a lot more like freaking like passive about it and Henry being a lot more inquisitive about it. Which rightfully so. I would probably be the same, but that's one of the reasons why I put the subtitles on. Which works out really well. Like, I really like how it has the subtitles on the bottom and then it has the eavesdrop moments right on the very left.
Pull them off that and put them on the linear list of like Crit Path events.
Yeah, there's things that we could just sort of like put as little like.
Oh. Fuck! Why am I progressing in this game so fast? I never did this last time. It like took me like days, literally days. I just clock on here for like a day and a portion of that day, and all of a sudden it's like, bam, 77. Like, great Scots, what the fuck? Did I get a time machine or some shit like that? I don't know. Maybe one of my friends is called Doc, and his last name is Brown. I mean, seriously, that would be cool though. I have a friend named Doc
Then
Brown.
what happened, Mac, LOL?
What happened?
Thoroughfare
We progressed.
Tower, this is Two Forks calling you for the
June fire.
50th time today.
Hello.
The June
Tower.
fire continues to move in a southerly fashion.
Where are you, Tower?
Delilah, for fuck's sake, answer your radio.
Oh, he's not taking shit from Delilah right now.
Sunshine? Sorry, I went out for a little bit. What can I do you for?
Let's see here. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding right now? Did you not stay up all night knowing that someone is...
I actually
Like
slept
listening to us?
Okay.
By the way, I was
Damn,
wondering
you
if your
weren't even
flora of
close to
Shoshone
being this
info
far
poster was
last
still up
time.
inside your tower?
Nah, like one of the things that like it has is like a montage scene that they actually like a little bit lightweightly like touch on like when they're talking about it in some of the audio logs, which is pretty cool. They explain like why they do that in order to make the player feel a little bit more intertwined with time and the story as it progresses over the summer. So it's really intentional. But she's trying to get me to go to a certain place.
Okay, yeah, it's up. Why are you acting like this?
She's really fucking acting really weird, though.
Wonderful. Do you see the tree in the top row, second from the left?
Yes.
Sure. It's the,
No. You don't need to tell me.
Oh,
Just,
gotcha.
internalize it. It's a great tree. And there's an area
Yeah, it's an
called,
awesome tree.
that tree's name in your sector that maybe you should take a midday hike to. Maybe.
So fucking weird. I'm not even gonna answer that. That'd be so weird if someone was listening to you and you're like, oh, I know what you're talking about. They're like, what the fuck? Oh, now I know what the fuck you're talking about. You were acting really fucking weird.
Gene fire isn't going anywhere, huh?
No, that's why those guys came out to burn that line.
It's moving with the wind. It's gone with the wind, damn you. Henry, pull yourself together, gosh, darn it.
Not yet, apparently.
Getting pretty hazy up here. Alright, so let us examine the map. We're here, our home. We don't need to get there. What we need to get is near some cotton grove. Because I think the tree she was mentioning was a cotton tree. And where's Cotton Creek? It is around here somewhere. If that's the lake, the only thing I can think of is down here near 5 miles. If I remember correct, it's up right over there where that little, I guess, break off where the little island is. So, with that deduction, we just gotta keep heading west. Wow, you just hear pure nature out there. Birds chirping, branches being destroyed as Henry runs over them.
I'm just fucking around in GTA 5 until Final Fantasy 15 comes out.
Dude, I can totally relate. Like, 'cause trying to kill time and the next week is gonna be hard. I figure I might be able to beat Uncharted. That's actually kind of doable, given the amount of time and how easy the game probably is for me. 'Cause I remember when I was playing, I wasn't having any difficulty with it, and you never really do with the Naughty Dog engine. As long as you're a gamer, you should have no problem. So I'm thinking maybe that, make some Battlefield in, sprinkle in some other games, try to beat them. Cause like it's insane. Like I was looking at my like trophy list of what I've been accelerating at. Like I'm already like 21% to level 21 or some shit like that. It was like something like where I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like I'm moving faster up the scale of percentage than I was before, but that's only because I've been like rubricating a lifestyle of just like listening to like freaking good feedback on trying to like play certain games. You know, it's like I still play like No Man's Sky and mix this in and mix that in, and you know, it's like I eventually end up being like really versatile with my gaming. So before I radio her, I'm gonna pick up and play this tape.
Hey, it's Sean.
Hey, it's Chris. Here in this Cottonwood Creek area where you have to get the new walkie-talkie that Delilah has planted for you or had planted for you, it is possible to just never pick it up in the first place, go straight over to the research site. And that's in part because it's in a game like this where we aren't constraining your movement. There isn't really anything we can do to force the player to walk to a certain place and do a certain thing before going to a different place. We would have to put up some kind of infinite wall or something between you and the research site to stop you just going straight
So I could totally bypass this and just went there and like killed whoever was like harassing the shit out of us.
Which then meant that the entire research site scene had to be written, had to be bifurcated, and then written to support the new radio versus not having the new radio.
That's the deciding factor. That's the unlock part.
Had to be
radio check.
Programmed to
Axe check.
Both of those things.
Pass.
And the way a lot of the branching sort of dialogue stuff.
This meta is really nice though.
Works in a game like this. It's not like a choose your own adventure where you go to a different chapter. It's really the game is looking line by line through the hundreds of lines that it takes for the characters to communicate their stuff while in the research site. It's going line by line and playing the truest one. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the lines are shared across has new radio versus doesn't have new radio state. It's jumping in between ideas that both hit upon.
I didn't know how elaborate this game was put together. It's really, really cool. Especially the music. They were talking about how there's 7 different pieces that are interlooped with the way that you're moving in the pace of the game.
Branching is really hard. And we would probably find a new way to do it in the future.
Maybe, yeah. No, it's hard to say. We tried hard to think of a way around it, and we
the new radio you don't have to pick up.
Writing it here's a weird one. It affected music because if you go all the way to the research site,
that's funny. I was literally just talking about the music.
Typically when you have the new radio and you go into the research site, there's this music that kicks in. What if you go to the research site without getting the new radio, not because you were intending to skip that part of the game, but because you just wanted to go check it out, to doing the video game exhaustive thing of I'm going to check every place before I do the thing, but I'm going to go back and get the radio and then do it. How do we read your intent? How do we as the designers know I'm intending to skip that part of the game, I'm not intending? Do I start the music cue? Do I not? There were a lot of different areas where we had to...
All right, let's write ourselves a really
take our best
pretty
guess,
picture.
Basically about, if this and this and this, but not that, we think this is what the player needs to do, and we're going to support that. And that was just something that we constantly had to live with throughout development.
Sorry, book. It's nothing personal.
I've got it now.
Good. I spent all day getting you that radio. I hiked to a cash box, lied to a ranger, lied to another ranger, and hopefully you are now holding a clean, untapped radio.
Hopefully.
Or someone's just smart enough to know that you can fucking just listen to a different frequency. Just saying.
What the fuck is going on? People are listening to us?
I don't know.
Our radios are tapped? Are you fucking serious?
Oh, look at the big tree.
Are definitely tapped. That's why I left you the one you just got.
How is this even possible?
I don't know, Henry.
What do you know?
This is some weird shit.
I know that I'm scared. None of it makes any sense.
Are there any other lookouts this is happening to? Someone else in on this? Anyone?
The fuck, dude?
This is just happening to us. Everyone else is fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. I've tried to bring it up to Chimney Rock, Elks Fork, and Beartooth Lookout, and every one of them got confused.
I thought she was insane.
If I need to be relieved. Our fucking state coordinator asked if I was just having lady troubles. So no, this isn't happening to anyone else, and I'm done asking.
Oh, there's one right over there.
I just changed clothes laying on the floor because I don't know who could be watching.
Look, I'm headed back to the gate, and now that I've got an axe, we'll know something soon.
You need to get into that site.
Sean here. Hey, Jake.
Hey, Sean. The hike to Cottonwood Creek.
The one you are ostensibly on right now.
It is a thing that changed a couple of times in the game, and it was actually one of the bigger spatial changes that we made over the course of Firewatch. The place called Cottonwood Creek on the map is now in, due south of the middle of the map, but it actually used to be north of the lake. If you ever head over there, you'll notice there's a lot of cottonwood trees there. There's cottonwood trees in both places.
It was originally where we ended up with it, though. It started where we are now.
And then we had a crisis of conscience somewhere in the middle of the game and went, is actually walking around in Firewatch fun? Should we condense everything
down? Is
the
core mechanic of the game fun? Oh no, hedge.
You hit a point in development sometimes where you question these things, and we said, is this going to be too big of a deal? Do we want to put Cottonwood Creek right next to the research site? And we did it.
That's so funny.
It was still pretty good, but I think as all the pieces laid out into the game, once the music started coming in, once a lot of the sort of incidental, ancillary conversations started coming in, we were able to sort of breathe a big sigh of relief and go, oh, it is all the stuff, all of these parts seem to be working. And then we went, all the parts are working, and we made
Stroke of
Creek,
genius.
like 3 inches away from the research site gate. Put it back, and it was a pretty quick change to put it back.
Yeah,
but
it was very quick to put back. But I had a panic
All
attack
right,
because
Mac,
I
I'm going
realized
to
that
sleep
having
now.
everything
Good
so
night.
condensed,
No worries, man. You have a nice one.
Lake, just totally hamstrung my ability to get in some of the dialogue that happens here. And I think this stuff's actually really important to the story and the character development of these two people. And I think with like 10 weeks left in development, maybe even less, it was a very short runway. I went to Jane and Jake and I was like, I think we have to move Cottonwood Creek back. And then beads of sweat appeared, and then they thought about it for a second and went, yeah, okay, I think it's not going to be that big of a deal. Because I had already been like, it's not going to be that big of a deal. We can just. And it was fine.
It turns out that what it was me literally picking up the cash box by the lake and the cash box by Cottonwood Creek and doing like the little.
Alright, I think I'm just making
like,
a
game swap, and then I
ridiculous left should be fine.
And it worked.
Fuck, Delilah.
Fuck indeed. We really need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, you know, you're the one making all the bad moral decisions, Delilah. Henry was just looking for an escape. Oh, son of a bitch. Thought that looked familiar. That's why I was like, I'm gonna look at the map real fast. This is awfully looking a lot familiar. Run, Henry, run. Run like your life depends on it. There we go. Cool. Man, this map is so fucking useful in this game.
Conan O'Brien under intense scrutiny after his Final Fantasy 15 Clueless Gamer review.
Really? I guess I heard you did play it. This is hella funny though. Like friggin' like everyone's like into this game right now. To the lake we go. I hope.
I thought it was funny. It's called Clueless Gamer for a reason.
There we go. Sun setting, lake overhead. I like how we go to Wabadi, like, station, like, when everything's getting hella dark. I don't need it. I'm still so fucking curious what those things are. But I digress. I'm not getting sidetracked off of those. Alright, cool. Almost there. Such a fucking trek. Fuck you, Gate. I'll tell you who's boss. Me. Male? Oh, come on. Really? Yeah, the beep. Mysterious government testing. Oh, this is just gonna end really well.
Okay, I'm at the site. I don't see anybody around.
Lucky for us.
Yeah, lucky for us. Dee, there's some serious comms equipment out here, wireless stuff.
What do you mean?
I'm talking a big 20-foot tall transmission tower.
Something that can pick up your radio towers.
Down in this valley, which makes it
pick up your radio frequencies. Because it's a radio tower.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Chris.
So over the course of Firewatch's development, we, I think, swung back and forth pretty wildly in terms of how much we wanted to play up the conspiracy part of the story and how explicit we wanted to make Goodwin's involvement and how much we wanted the player to buy into it versus how much we wanted the player to think this was sort of all in Henry's head or played up to Henry and Delilah.
So many different
ways. The
ways.
research site was really the moment in the game where
there's definitive proof something is happening, whatever it is.
We obviously knew as the developers of the game that the reality of the situation was a little bit sadder and more mundane. I think we kind of wanted there to be this big moment that suggests oh, maybe this is something really huge.
Yeah,
I think we got carried away a little bit.
Yeah, I think we arguably / probably
Retraction.
did. Thinking back to it now, the reason that the typed reports came into the story at all, as you said about the pendulum going back and forth, I think we didn't like the story being 100% ambiguous. I don't know if we knew that we could support a world where Henry and the player and Delilah 100% construct a reality that doesn't have a single shred of proof, and we're like, okay, well, we got excited about maybe it's the 70s conspiracy moment of like, you're a room full of whirring machines.
I think we on the team kind of hyped ourselves up in the same way Henry and Delilah do. I mean, I remember when I first the first draft of the music that you're hearing right now, I showed it to you only, I think, because I felt too stupid to show it to anyone else, because I'm like, this is so ridiculous. We can't put this in our game.
Well, the one when
you were like, oh, maybe we should put it in our game.
I don't know. Everyone's going nuts. Everyone's going nuts.
It's true. We're all going nuts.
Maybe it could have been pulled back a little bit on all fronts from what you're observing right now, but maybe it's the best. Maybe it's for the best.
Could be. Could be.
Who knows?
Hi, this is Jane. I'm back again, and now I'm here with
Will Nunes. I was a prop artist.
And this is one of the few areas in Firewatch where it's not just about trees and rocks. So we wanted to make sure that this area feels very man-made and that is spooky and is ambiguous. Like, the goal here is that you're going to get here and you're not quite sure if this is like a surveillance operation or if it's scientific.
Feels like it.
And that's kind of what I told Will when we were trying to make a lot of props, and Will was really great about it. And I was just like, hey Will, can you please just make a bunch of boring scientific equipment?
Yeah, I mean, we were actually just looking up a lot of stuff, like, stuff that monitored, thermal energy and stuff like that, like very, very standard kind of scientific equipment, but arranged in kind of a sense that made it look kind of a little more eerie and a little more cluttered and haphazard and not really definable from someone that didn't really understand what this equipment was.
Yeah, I think if you actually look up each prop, that they actually are real, like, equipment, right?
Yes, I used reference from the late 80s for all this equipment. They're all real equipment that people use to, monitor the wind or environment, stuff like that.
Is there like a favorite piece of prop in this tent, Will?
I would say the equipment. Just it's really simple, but I had a lot of fun making it and kind of seeing the layout and kind of trying to convey this kind of eerie looking equipment, doing something you're not quite sure what it's about, ambiguously, technical, and seeing where I could take it and seeing kind of, with the colors and the mood and how that would all fit together and how to set that scene right.
Huh. I still gotta make it to the station. Somehow, some way, we're getting there.
Well, there's nobody here. It's just tents and equipment, and yeah, that's it.
Look everywhere. Maybe you can find something that will help us know what's going on.
Why would something like this even be out here? Wouldn't it be easier to spy on people in a city, somewhere you can blend into the background?
Yeah, it's also a lot harder to get rid of problems if there are people around. Out here, you can just disappear.
Happy.
Thanks for that. How about I stay in my lookout and you do all the hiking around?
No thank you.
Okay. Let us see. is next? No, there's gotta be something I didn't trigger then. What am I missing?
I'm in their main tent.
That's what it is.
It's definitely some sort of monitoring.
Oh yeah. Nice. Well, I tried, but maybe I have the radio in.
Okay, this thing is losing its mind, beeping like crazy.
I can hear it. What's it after?
I don't know.
My blood. It's a crazy vampire. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm supposed to go back and detect the tower that's right there. There we go. Roll out. That's odd, it should be working. There we go. I've investigated it so much. What else is there left to investigate?
They're measuring the barometric pressure, too. Why? Okay. Shit. Got a map here that confirms they're tracking our people's movements. There's a box here with a dial. It has a needle, like it measures earthquakes. Okay, so there's a log here that tracks the movement of 4 distinct subjects.
You and me?
Yeah, definitely me. And I suppose you too.
What about the other two?
Maybe the Goodwins? What if they were following them last summer?
God,
Creepy.
I don't know. If they were, there's no way Brian knew. He would have said something.
Yeah, I can't imagine a kid like that could have kept this under his hat.
We'll talk this over and figure out how to get the hell out of here.
Creepy.
Are you shitting me?
What is it?
There's a folder of reports here.
What do they say?
They're assessments about the two of us. There's stuff in here about Julia.
Like what?
Stuff I didn't tell you. This is...
What does it say about me? You said there was one about me.
And it looks like they've been following me around. What I do when I'm out hiking? Jesus.
Henry, do you hear me?
It says you and your boyfriend
So
are still
creepy.
together.
What? We're not. They're messing with us.
Yeah, okay.
They are. How do they even know who he is? How the hell does this... so sick of letting these people do this to us. We should just burn the place down. Think about it. Worst case scenario...
Delilah.
What? Think about it.
I am, and I think it's insane.
They'd be fucked.
Yeah, and how about if that fire comes up the mountain? Or someone were to die in it?
She's a hoe. She's multiple lovers.
Call it in?
Yeah, maybe.
My God, Delilah, no. No way.
Well, maybe it's not the best idea.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best idea.
I'm so fucking wound up.
It's all right. I'm just gonna hike back. We
all
have
right.
the wave receiver, and tomorrow we can figure out what to do. No, they're doing something with the soil out here too. It's all gridded off.
Who knows what else they're up to?
Everything. Absolutely everything. This music is so tight. Reminds me of Dawn of the Dead a little bit.
Whoa! Oh, shit! Delilah, there's smoke coming from the site. I just climbed out of there and the bridge collapsed.
What the hell happened to you? It's definitely not the best idea.
It wasn't me.
What do we do?
We just call it in like any other fire.
And what about who started it? What about them?
The person who started it?
Yeah.
We're talking about people watching us out here who are now burning the forest and everything in it around us. I don't know what to do about that.
Except get the hell
Call the
out.
cops.
Yes, get us the hell out of here.
I will.
Alakazam? Wave receiver. Fire. Bucket. Awesome. But I think this is a good pausing point right here. We're, getting a little bit more.
What up, buddy?
Oh, let's see who this is actually real fast. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? I was pausing for a split second, but I can go on a little bit more. We're almost done with this game. I'm just really gonna go grab something to drink and maybe some food, but I can do that later. Guess I'm watching. Alright, anyways, let's get the hell out of this place. Because Day 77 has, like, a lot of interesting things that can come about it. You stalking me?
I'm just checking it out.
What thingy? What now?
I found a device that picks up frequencies. It's how I found the reports last night, and it's going off now.
It just picked up a frequency?
Yeah, what could it be?
I don't know. You gotta find out.
Alright, I'm on my way now.
You know what I just picked up?
No.
Bottle of tequila.
Major Bueno tequila from the creek.
Are you drunk?
No! I am getting drunk.
Hey, Dee, I don't want to harsh your vibe, but maybe, just maybe, that's a bad idea.
Henry.
What?
You're harshing my vibe. My thinking is I could stay up all night worried I'm going to lose my job because of the side fire, or I could not worry and let the chips fall where they may.
No, that way, it's this way.
Proof we were down there.
My thinking is I'm gonna follow this wave receiver.
Ooh, I like it when you think.
Ay, ay, ay. I'll just leave you alone with whatever these thoughts are.
Promiscuous thoughts, radio off. Andrew's like, I'm a faithful man, damn it. No. Fucking creepy ass hell. Weird.
Shit! What? Ah.
That way we can remember this moment. Well, at least we know now how to get into the cave.
Nels, it's the spooky nighttime scene.
So spooky. Impossibly spooky.
Coming up with this scene was funny because the bag that is in the little grove here is known, I think, definitely internally, I don't know if this is in the game, but as the bug-out bag.
Oh, it is definitely the bug-out bag. This is what actual hardcore survivalists call their, oh man, if the nukes hit New York City, I can grab my 2 bug-out bags, they're in my closet, throw them in the back of my pickup, and drive immediately within 12 minutes of the air raid siren or whatever.
Yeah, and it's funny because we wanted it to tell a really sort of a nuanced story that didn't hit you over the head with exposition.
Yes.
And I think the bug-out bag is probably a little confusing.
It might have been a bit too nuanced.
It's definitely confusing upon first discovery. This is Ned Goodwin's bug-out bag, which is the heat's getting too close. I've gone too deep. This Henry and Delilah charade, and I'm going to have to leave really soon.
Yeah.
So if Henry gets too close, I'm just rappelling down, scurrying over to get this bag, and I'm out. And I might as well wire it to a battery for the effort, so if it gets discovered, I know that it's gone.
Exactly.
I don't get led into a trap.
And this is things that, like, actual, weirdo hermit people that live in the woods. Like, this is actually a thing that they'll have. They'll have, like, their main campsite, but then if their main campsite is discovered, they have, like, another second supply cache where they can just grab their stuff and disappear. And it just happened to be that Goodwin, for sentimental or other reasons, was keeping the key to the cave on this backpack. He didn't like in any way leave it for Henry intentionally. It just happened to be that the weird electronics on it also got picked up by the wave receiver, and then what was meant to be like Goodwin's safety net backup thing is actually what is his ultimate undoing.
Yeah, and there's an article in GQ magazine that I think you'll probably be talking about later, Nels, written by a reporter named Michael Finkel about this hermit who lived in Maine.
Christopher Thomas Knight.
It's a wonderful, wonderful long read. You can find it online. Again, it's GQ magazine, and I plumbed this thing for inspiration for Goodwin and how he would set up his camp and what he would do if he thought he was going to get caught. And it was an idea that I know went into my notebook upon reading this article. It's really great, and it's really wonderful reporting from Michael Finkel.
Perfect. Almost home.
I don't see anyone up here.
He was just there.
Left a cassette player taped to my damn door.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, let's see what's on it.
We should just burn the place down. Delilah. What? Think about it. I am.
It's a tape of us talking down at the site. It sounds like it was recorded from somewhere nearby.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and it sounds like we were the ones who burned it down and that it was your idea.
No.
We are screwed.
No!
Dee, just don't freak out, okay? Don't freak out.
Oh my God, what the fuck is happening, Henry?
I just want to put the jam down. That's what's happening. Delilah. Freaking out too much.
What's wrong?
Someone claiming to be Henry in Two Forks called a lookout in another sector early this morning and said that I knew what caused the Wapiti Meadow fire. So, I just got off the horn with that lookout who's wondering what I know, or that I'm an arsonist, or that I'm fucking losing it. Furthermore, I bet you don't have the only tape of us from last night, so someone has evidence to back it up. We need to find out what someone's been keeping in that cave.
I'm going down there now.
We don't have a lot of time left out here, and if we don't find some fucking answers, when they lift us out of here, it's gonna be in handcuffs.
Well?
Us? What's this us? You're the boss. I was just...
What, following orders?
Look, you know I didn't start this fire. So you just tell him the truth, right? That's all you can do.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
I know.
The truth always wins, Delilah. Alright, that is going to be a very good point to stop, because now we're on day 78, which is almost like pretty much done. We have 1 or 2 more days left. That's it. Which they go pretty so relatively fast, but hey, thanks for watching. I will definitely be on later on. Probably get some food, maybe come back on. Maybe something a little bit different, maybe finish this off, depends. But we'll see. But I'll check you guys and gals later.